All right, folks, maniacs and cool people who came on the internet to see me just because you don't know who I am. We're talking with a couple of nerd icon legends, and I can call them that because we're all nerds here, and so it's okay, it's a compliment. And we're talking with Nathan Fillion and Clark Gregg on Joss Whedon's new epic, Much Ado About Nothing. How did this happen?
Clark, go.
I knew do that. Well, I was told, though I wasn't included, that there were some Shakespeare brunches.
I thought you were there. I remember you being there.
I was waiting tables there. I served you a wonderful
you were excellent.
Blueberry muffin.
Yeah.
But I wasn't there. So talk about that.
Shakespeare brunches at Joss's house. An email would go out saying who can make it. People would respond. From that, he would cast a Shakespeare play. This is the play. This is the book we're using. These two characters are now one character. This one's a girl, and we'd do a Shakespeare brunch in his backyard. And he was saying we should film one of these one day, which I honestly thought meant filming us reading it.
Videotape the brunch.
Yeah, but that was
Not the real
his
thing.
plan. Not his plan.
That's really fun, because one of my questions was actually, I was going to say, are these like barbecues in his backyard that he comes up with this idea? And apparently it did.
Exactly. And when we actually started filming, I thought it was going to be far more casual, and it was actually it's a production. It was a really
Trucks and everything.
lights.
When you guys were doing the brunches, was this one of the better readings?
Oh, we didn't read this one. We did 12th Night.
You didn't read this one?
We did another one. Not the one I didn't attend. I did two of them.
Oh.
And this was filmed in like 12 days.
12 days.
Like, no time whatsoever.
12 days.
Which is funny, because my friends and I, we loved to make short films when I was a kid, and it took 2 weeks to film 4 minutes. This is a 100-minute movie in 12 days, all filmed in black and white.
Yes.
And you two, this is the first time that you two have been in a movie together.
Finally, yes.
And now you're inducted into the Joss Whedon family, as it's called, because now you're going to be in more stuff of his.
Apparently so. I've actually only been working for him since the Avengers for the most part. After the Avengers, I had dinner at his house with a bunch of people where he was basically celebrating the end of photography and was about to start editing. And he said, "Oh, I'm not going to go on vacation. I'm going to shoot this film in my house, Much Ado About Nothing." And next thing you know, I was there trying to learn the lines, and I was in it, and seeing all these people in shows and films that I'd loved.
Right.
And I thought, I hope they're nice to me, and they very much were. And now I'm doing Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes.
with Joss and his brother Jed and Jed's wife Mo, and
that's coming out this fall.
So I'm told.
Which is funny because Coulson lives, which is very important. Because Joss Whedon, I wouldn't say he was notorious, but he does kill off people.
He kills people.
He kills folks.
Yeah.
And he brought you back. Somehow.
That's a first.
I think the Marvel Universe is a little bit more accessible to the concept of people not being 100% dead. And I also was lucky to have some people who started writing Coulson Lives all over the globe.
Yeah, that's the hashtag of the entire show. Is Coulson
I've
Lives.
seen the shirts.
Yeah, I'm going to get a Coulson Lives shirt. Immortalized. They got the bust of the red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
You have one. Don't worry. Joss Whedon sets always, to me, I'm always like, it always looks like it's work, but it's in disguise. It's really play in disguise of work. Is that how it is, or is it like, no, he's a director like any other director, and best job ever?
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Working for Joss. It's something
Top
else.
3.
your top 3.
Yeah.
I've rarely had as much fun or been as scared as I was doing Much Ado About Nothing, just because there was so little time and it was Shakespeare.
Yeah, right. Is it Shakespeare speak? It's much as thee and thou livest thine, and
It's that.
all that
Oh
stuff.
yeah, no,
It's
it's not
that.
rewritten.
It is straight up Shakespeare.
It's straight up Shakespeare.
Cut down a
But
little bit.
it's not like when you're in high school and the kid next to you is made to read it out loud, and he's reading it in monotone, and he stops at the end of the line because that's when the line. That's not how Shakespeare is. I am pretend with the ideas. It's like conversation.
That's right.
Done well, done correctly.
With the power of Clark and Nathan.
It's just conversation. It makes sense.
Right. They'll say, like, Shakespeare when I was a kid, I think a Joss Whedon-Shakespeare collaboration is long overdue, because when I was a kid, while the kid was reading that, I was sleeping, I was napping.
Yeah.
In the back with a
I was
book on
practicing
my
my autograph.
head. Right, yeah.
I was practicing your autograph too.
That's weird.
Yeah, no one's going to be sleeping during this. This, as Joss said, this is the sexiest thing he's ever done. He's right. There's a lot of this is a summer party with intrigue and sex and drinking.
Danger.
Which is very
danger.
cool, because Shakespeare's been done in modern time before, but it was, we all thought we dropped acid and watched Romeo and Juliet, and that's the way that happened.
Right.
Yeah.
But this is black and white, it's very real,
Yeah.
it's fun. Is it a dark comedy?
No, I would say it's a romantic comedy with a subplot that has a lot of drama in it.
Gotcha.
Yeah. There is some very real danger in this movie. There are some people who get very upset, and for good reason.
Yeah.
Okay, what are these good reasons? Good reason is subjective.
A man's daughter accused of being a wanton.
At the altar of her wedding,
Yeah.
she's called out for having spent the night before her wedding with another man.
Yeah.
It remains to be seen whether my daughter actually did that or if she's being set up by some nefarious characters. And in fact, my whole world would come to an end if there wasn't one man, one sheriff in that town, played by a certain Nathan Fillion.
Now, I wouldn't have slept through that if they pitched that like that in high school.
Right.
See, for me, it was just boring rhymes.
Yes.
But now, Clark himself, were you in the pitch room for this?
I was.
You were, okay, that's why.
In Elizabethan England. Couldn't get that out. Too tired from flying in.
No, I feel you. Those flights to LA, man, when you use your arms, they will exhaust you.
Yes.
Joss Whedon movies usually, they have comedy in them. And this is a romantic comedy with very dark tones. Is Joss Whedon's comedy, is it ever meant to be a comedy, or is it like it's written and then you're doing it and you're like, oh, that would be kind of funny if that happens? Is it improv?
Very little of what Joss Whedon does is by accident. There's I'd say less than 1% of what he puts on the screen happened without his tedious planning.
He's an evil mastermind.
He is, nothing is left to chance.
Right.
Certainly things come to life when he puts the people together. He has a way of letting things live and breathe and casting the right people and putting things in their capable hands. It's really amazing to watch. But yeah, no, I don't think a lot happens. That's my opinion, my humble opinion.
What's your take, Clark?
I am H.O.
I don't really say the words as written. I view the script kind of as a blueprint.
Ah.
No, that's what all the worst actors say. I think you nailed it. He creates a world where it feels very improvisatory, and yet you never really feel the impulse to leave the script because it works. And the script itself feels very spur of the moment, which a lot of scripts don't. The only way you can kind of make them feel alive is to tweak them a little bit as you go.
But you can't.
That's what the bad actors say.
Yeah, right.
I just outed myself. I'm sorry.
Don't do that.
No.
Bad actors do not get T-shirts and hashtags about them.
That's true.
Joss Whedon he's probably he is one of, if not the busiest guy in Hollywood right now. He's Mr. Marvel, Avengers, straight off that. Much Ado About Nothing, Avengers 2, producing Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Is he a vampire or is he a Kryptonian? One of the two.
He's not a big sleeper.
Yeah, doesn't sound like it.
We were at the upfronts in New York for a crushingly long day of press and announcing the S.H.I.E.L.D. shows going forward, and I mean, I left the party at 3 and Joss was still dancing. So
yeah, I've seen him dance till morning with the sun up, so I know he's not a vampire, and he has a collection of kryptonite, so he can't be Kryptonian.
Yeah,
he's a new thing altogether.
He's something else.
Yeah.
He is a
Kryptonian
director.
vampire.
A Kryptonian vampire sent from the future back through time by a robot to make movies better in this day and age.
Come with Joss if you want to live.
I shall. Come with him if you want to live. You know what I love about Coulson is that it's because he's an agent, but other agents are like, okay, when they go away, I don't know what they do. They puff away and smoke and go back to the big metal lab. But Coulson's like, I might go home, and then you might not have food there. Maybe he needs to go to Costco. He deals with everything I deal with, but he's like a super agent who shot a god in the chest with a big real BFG 9000 gun.
Yes.
And that's very cool.
It's funny you know that. When they give me Coulson's wallet every day and the props, there's a Costco card right there.
Is there a Costco card?
Yeah, absolutely. It's mostly been used to buy ammunition.
In bulk, that's right. Oh, but are there any scenes with you guys in there?
Yes, there are.
My first scene
Deliciously.
was with Clark, and we were in the front yard of Joss's house, and it was my first experience being there. I watched Clark. He was running lines. Who was that lady you were running lines with? Do you remember?
She's a friend of mine, an actress, but also spectacularly talented at helping people learn lines quickly. Believe it or not.
Watching him run his lines like a machine.
Right.
And I'm people are doing something over there, and he's just 4 steps away doing his stuff. I'm going, oh my God, he's got a lot to say, doesn't he? He's got a lot. And then turn around and face cam, and then start doing the same lines, but now with weight. I'm going, oh, I better not blow this. When's my line? I can't remember my line.
I was doing the same lines, but going, wait.
Now you have Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. coming out. It's on ABC, right?
Yes.
This fall.
Yeah, so they tell me.
So yeah, who knows?
So
man?
far, so good. I don't know. It might be on the internet by then. We don't know.
But you're in the show. Do you carry the show, or is it like pilot episode?
Well, my friend, that remains to be seen. I think that's the theory of those involved, that Agent Coulson is kind of driving the ship. But I'm surrounded by a spectacular ensemble of young S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. The magnificent Ming-Na Wen, who plays Agent Melinda May, who's a very notorious badass within S.H.I.E.L.D.
Right.
See, here's the thing about Clark. He never plays intimidating, so he never believes that he's actually intimidating. But he's very intimidating.
You are. I could see that. The devil's in the eyes kind of. Right there. That look you just gave.
It's a weapon that I have. It's in the car. Don't make me take it out.
I'm telling. See, you're a wolf in sheep's clothing, Clark. No other person could have Joss Whedon kill them, get resurrected, carry a show to come out this fall. That will probably get signed on again because people like me will watch it. Clark, you're breaking ground.
I'm a groundbreaker, my friend. I don't know what to say to that. I hope that's true. I'm excited to shoot the show. We've only shot one. It went pretty well. I'm excited to see where it goes.
Now, have you shot just the pilot episode, or have you shot a string of episodes?
We shot the pilot episode. They picked that up. In about 6-7 weeks, we start shooting more of them. And we will have just enough more of them in the can that they will be theoretically ahead of when they show them on TV.
I got 1 more minute to speed it up. All right, Nathan Fillion, thank you for talking with me.
That was easy.
Clark Gregg. I try to make it easy on people. I try to make it easy on people with better hair than me. Clark Gregg, thank you for talking with me. It's been a pleasure. You guys are masters. Catch them both. You can catch Nathan Fillion on Castle, also on NBC, right?
ABC.
Also on ABC. And you can catch Clark Gregg. That's why I brought 2 cameras, man. I knew. I was like, he's going to eclipse. You can catch Clark Gregg on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. coming out this fall on ABC. And you can catch them both in Joss Whedon's new epic, Much Ado About Nothing. And you can follow them on Twitter.
The gangster thing.
Oh, that's
You
great.
want to touch the camera?
I like that.
Coulson lives.